on the question that many of you may have. Will the surge in COVID viewing survive the post-COVID era? It is my pleasure to introduce you to the moderator, Mr. Vikram Chandra, founder, editor G, followed by our panelists, Mr. Ajit Varghese, Chief Commercial Officer, ShareChat, Mr. Salil Kumar, Chief Executive Officer, Digital India Today, Mr. Sandeep Amar, founder, Publishers Digital Lab. A very warm welcome to all of you. Over to you, Mr. Chandra.
Thank you so much. It's great being here and great being here with three people whom I've respected and admired for a really long time. So it's fantastic to all of you doing really great and sterling work. I know there's a lot that we have to discuss, right? Traffic, numbers, how things are going, what the future trends is. At some point, I want to get in the dreaded M word as well, which is obviously monetization, because this is all very well. कोई कभी पैसा बनाएगा कि नहीं बनाएगा? That's a interesting question that we should also be looking at some point. But let's first start with the basic premise. Has there been a COVID spike? What's been happening? What have the trends been? Salil, why don't I start with you? Everyone's been talking about this being an inflection point. This has completely changed the way, finally the inflection point that we've been talking about. Has it already happened, or is it still a promise for the future, the inflection point? Salil, you may be on mute.
Thanks, Vikram. Thanks, Vikram. Pleasure to be here. I'm sure we all know that the growth story in India is beginning, and we are seeing this surge in COVID times. I am positive that this is going to continue. It's brought in a lot of new viewers. It's brought in the long tail, and surely we see the consumption go up, and I would not see this consumption go down. It's just that maybe consumer will change the way it's viewing it, whether it is on the mobile, more on the mobile, because I can see in my house, I have two kids, my wife, and we keep looking, finding places to consume content. So, it's one guy on the TV, then somebody on the mobile, then somebody on the laptop, and therefore this consumption will continue. And this is developing a habit. Now it's been a long time. So yes, I'm worried about how I see that consumption change and grow. So I strongly believe it's going to continue.
Sandeep, let's just turn to what are the trends that you are seeing? So let me get the big picture, that I'm going to dive into individual aspects of it. What's the big picture that you're seeing right now?
So, if it is related to overall consumption, I think it is increasing. I think COVID gave it a bump, which helped people kind of discover new platforms, especially OTTs. So, not just five, there are many OTTs. And I think some of this growth will continue. Some of this growth will come down, because if you remember in the first wave, in the first lockdown, one of the most popular downloads became the Ludo King. Okay, and it was quite a big thing. Now, with people back to work, they're not playing that much Ludo anymore. So obviously, the time that a consumer has comes down as soon as they start consuming it. Now, majority of this growth is coming from lower middle class, and majority of this growth is coming in regional languages. And this growth is from people who have a lot of time, like a guard, who kind of sits all day, and like a driver who will drive for maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. And obviously it was fueled when the Jio started. So for example, my driver would never recharge his phone before the Jio came. Now after Jio, he's continuously on charge because he's watching something. So a lot of this consumption is happening in lower middle class. And majority of this consumption lies in that diamond shaped country, which India is in the lower belly. So the higher up audience have moved to OTT, and the lower belly is what is fueling its growth. But this growth is not going to be as high as the peak of COVID. It's going to come down by 40%.
Right. Your view? Let me just get you in your big picture view first.
That's for me, Vikram?
Yeah, for you.
I think, Vikram, what I have seen, if I were to combine, if I look at India's picture, I look at it as inflection point in 2, 3 different ways. We sub-segment our audiences into, at least even if you look at three, the top 100, 150 million is going through a different inflection point. The middle of India is going through a different inflection point. And the lower, I mean, if you look at the last 500, 600 million, that is going at a different trajectory, right? That for them, it's the first time. That for them, what could have happened in 5 years is probably happening in 1 year. Now, if you look at our business properly, and the reason why we have pegged our business in the mid segment, because this is the inflection point we are trying to capture of, where everybody already has like a 600, 700 million phones, feature phones, and everybody can use the video. Like it is like 15, 20 years back, messaging came in. We never thought, can everybody do a message? Now it's almost given, right? You don't even, it's like a subconscious mind. Everybody can do a message. Today, the video has taken in a similar format, right? Anybody with a phone can have a video, can put out a video. And there are a lot of avenues, platforms which have emerged, which has enabled this to in a few seconds or in a 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So to me, that's a big inflection point for the middle of India, which is 100 million to 500 million kind of audiences, right? And this will continue. My assumption is this will continue going at a breakneck speed in the next 3 to 5 years, because the last 600 million, for them it's the first time, and they haven't even touched digital to the extent that the top 100 million or people like us have experienced digital, right? So while a lot of the top 100 million is going through high amount of OTT, e-commerce, Internet of Things, like for example, we all grew up with, there is a physical world and there is a digital alternative. Now it's kind of becoming a digital world and there is a physical alternative, right? So whatever you do, whether it's e-com, OTT, health, medical, everything is available today in the last 1-2 years is available online. Physically, you can use it when you want to use it. That's a different inflection. So to me, the surge of video, I think it will continue on a breakneck speed in the next 3 to 5 years, because the rest of India has come to the forefront, which the top publishers didn't touch.
Ajay, just wanted to ask you this. There's been talk of this particular inflection point now for a while, which is to say text is going to be overtaken by video and video is going to become dominant. Have we now seen that happening? Because even in India, till not that long back, video was there, but it was a relatively small, especially in the news and other businesses, people would be still consuming more text than video. Is it now video, which is number one?
Video, if you look at ShareChat's own evolution, I can tell you from my experience, we started off as a sharing platform. What we think a lot of Indian audiences share on the dark social, or it doesn't come to mainline media, and we started as a sharing platform. But within 2 to 3 years, we realized 75-80% of our sharing platform is video. And then if you look at the launch of, obviously TikTok was there, but if you look at the Moj in last 1 year, we have already reached 120 million users, number of people on the app. And to me, video is becoming mainline. And as we go into future, we are expecting the China model, which is video commerce, live streaming, a lot more evolved video products as we go into the future. So yes, it's predominantly 75-80% is now turning into video.
Sandeep, would you agree with that? Now at the point where the Indian internet, Indian mobile is video first, or is it still too early to say that? Because I've heard that promise being made repeatedly in the last 10 years. Quite often it's a false dawn. Video spikes and then it goes back down, and again you're back to text or memes or graphics or GIFs or whatever.
No, video is definitely number one, and Google Play app is the number one app in the country as per Comscore in April. It's the last data, which is a default kind of thing, so let's not count that. So number one app after that is YouTube, with 400 million users. So it's not just India; it's a global thing. You would like to watch a video, it's like from our Doordarshan days, we'll wait for He-Man to come, So video is definitely the way to go. And like Ajit is saying, that is also correct, that the short video revolution brought in by Totua, which we know as TikTok in the world, has revolutionized the world. Even US TikTok is doing very well. So I think user-generated short video content is the way for the youth. Youth is completely taken into it, and it's a race.
Salil, for a large media house, right, this has been a constant question that you're aware of. It's been raging for 10, 20 years. Big, giant print brands will say, okay, we have print territory and now there's digital, and what do we do with it? India today would be having a similar question. You've got massive television properties like the channel, like Aaj Tak, and now there's digital, which is out there. I'm going to come to monetization because obviously in revenue there's no match. At what point do you think big media houses will say the majority of our users and the majority of our traffic is actually residing on digital? Monetization I'll come to, but the traffic and the viewership is more digital than either print or TV.
So, I think we have been saying this for the last maybe 7-8 years in India Today Group, that digital it's a given, it'll overtake. Your question is, when will it become majority? I think we are already a majority. And that was a call taken many years back. And that is why you see this line of investment on digital that's been. There were times we were taking baby steps to move forward. We switched gears maybe 6 years back. And today we are seeing a huge shift, both in consumption as well as consumers, to reach out to them right across, whether it is print, whether it is TV and whether it is digital. Today, digital is getting integrated in all our opportunities, discussions. I also remember the time, Vikram, way back, I used to be quite some time back selling one of the print properties, one of the leading newspapers, right? And trust me, I never got that respect that I get today in this in the organization, where again you look at, digital is, it's important. It was something, okay, you're there, we'll look at you sometime. Let me close the bigger picture and I'll give you something because you've come through someone. Today it is, listen, the deal cannot complete. I need the digital component to be integrated. That's because the audience is consuming more and more digital. That's because everyone who's also watching TV does not want to miss that part. So 8 years back, I may have been, can be ignored and really will not make an impact or a difference. But today, you cannot have one campaign which will not have digital component. So that's how important and that's how big it is. As far as when will we get into a point, I think we're already at that point where, it's a sizable chunk of consumer on the digital side of business.
Sandeep?
See, I think publishers' battle is a little bit of a lost battle, in my view. Vikram, can you guess how many publishers in top 100 apps of India would be publishers?
I have an idea, and I don't think it's a very high number. So
it's zero. In top 200, it is zero. So the native consumption of content on apps for publishers is not taken up. I think app is the true mark of direct traffic. Well, like we see in Google Analytics, the direct traffic, which is reportedly wrong because Google Analytics cannot properly analyze it. I think ShareChat would be in a decent spot over there, 80-90 million, last number I saw. So, unfortunately, publishers have lost that battle. The native consumption of video is not there for them. Okay, and I think the YouTube number, for example, is 400 million. Okay, and no publisher app, none. Publisher app crosses 5 million users in a month. So Aaj Tak is 5 million, Times of India is 6-7 million, ET is 1 million. So, the native consumption is not there. And the third party consumption is controlled by two walled gardens, which are Facebook and Google. and those gaps kind of dry out. So, in India, I think there are no case studies which we can take from West for publishers to feel any happiness. Because, very quick example in interest of time is Doubtnut. So Doubtnut has raised $170 million on the backing of being the next Chegg of India without taking a single revenue. So Chegg is, the edutech's a big piece out there. And some of the money which is being raised in India on platforms which are short video, I think, that's also a question of a lot of numbers. Like you said, monetization will come later. And even if we compare with America, there's no comparison. And even when we see GDP per capita, China is also 3x of India. So, it's a very unfair comparison in some of these modelings. But if you look at pure numbers in search, I think their publishers have lost it and they just can't gain, because the only people who raise money, quote unquote, who've been publishers based, chat is a more, like Ajit said, started off as a different platform, is Daily Hunt and recently the Public App. So Public App has, I think, raised close to 200 crores. And Daily Hunt has totally raised $90 million till they came out with this George alternative. And TikTok's ByteDance money is there. So they would want them to raise a lot of money. So they would raise a couple of $100 million now. None of the publishers have gone.
But Sandeep, can I just take you up on that? Okay, there you can say that the publishers haven't really broken ground and haven't got inside. But when you're looking at credible content, let's face it, to some extent, what's been happening in the entire Indian digital ecosystem, I don't want to call it a Ponzi scheme, but it's a particular, you have to get traffic, you got to raise money from investors, then you're paying that money to Google and to Facebook to get installs, and then your apps are being installed, which is giving you a valuation, then you're going back to the investor and you're getting more money. That's the cycle that is going on. And by the way, it is possible, I'm going to throw that back to Salil, it's possible that many of the publishers have decided we don't want to go down that route because we're not quite sure how we'll monetize if we have to go down that route. Would that be a fair response to what you were saying?
Should I respond?
Yeah, you go first, and I'm going to throw it to the other two.
No, it's not like that at all. If you look at a number which is more popular in app parlance now is DAU. It is not MAU. ShareChat would have a very solid DAU. I have questions on that model, but I think the DAU is very strong. Prior to these people, the DAUs used to belong to the music sites like Gaana and Apple Music and all, because everybody you go. So, I think Sergey Brin or Larry, one of them has a toothbrush theory that, just like, are you using that app every day? If your product is used every day. So, I think their publisher ecosystem have completely failed. And another thing is that Indian publishers are not pure publishers. The only pure publisher in India is like Quint, who put in decent amount of money from their own side. In India, all the content which a large group like Times does is from the 1,600 people on ground. Similar for Aajtak. They are not publishers, they are digital departments. So they can't raise money. And they can't even take that path because, you understand what I'm saying. If Times Jagaran ingests 6,000 stories a day, Bhaskar ingests 6,000 stories a day. But those stories can't be done by an individual digital unit. So they are not a digital company.
Okay, I know Salil has a lot to say, and I'm going to just toss to Salil that. But Ajit, let me just get you in on that point. Is that so? Looking at the trends, I guess the question that Salil, I'm sure, will have to take on what Sandeep is saying. So I'm going to beat him to the punches. Can you really compare an app which is doing social, which is doing people generating user-generated content and uploading it and saying, oh, this is getting 5 million views or 10 million views or whatever it is, as compared to somebody where a journalist has gone out, researched a story, done it, put it together, a lot of investment, 2 minutes investigative story? Is it being somewhat unfair to compare the two and put them at the same pedestal? I think you're on mute. Yeah.
When I look at this debate, I actually go back to the consumer first and then platform. See, we have to recognize that consumers have changed their tastes. So when we talk about video, the fact that audio visual was there, the change has happened long back, like 10, 15, 20, 30 years back, right? Audio visual. It suited a long format. It's just that TV suited a long format video. That's all. But the movement has already happened 20, 30 years back, right? Now the question is now whether the new content has come in, it's come at your convenience, shorter forms have come in, micro segments have come in. It's the same as old era. There was one Amitabh Bachchan, one Rajesh Khanna, and today we are talking about micro influencers, micro celebrities, mega influencers, and celebrities, right? So the movement has already, the video has already happened long back. The question really is consumers' consumption patterns are changing with their limited attention span. Now, we used to read long story books, 600 pages. We would love to read one-page articles. Now they want to read only 140, 150 characters. The fact is, all content creators, I include publishers in that, right? So whether it's a movie producer, whether it's a news publisher, have to recognize the consumption pattern on what your new audiences are bringing and therefore adapt the platforms in that manner. Now, the question really is, yes, I was used to a certain model of publishing, and that publishing worked wonders for the last 50 years or 60 years. Now, the mid segment, which is 18 to 35 audience, has changed and has micro attention span, wants to consume either short videos or snippets, or doesn't have that span of time to go through newspapers or articles or whatever. I'm saying different audiences, right? How do we adapt? Now, whether we launch the entire vertical on our own, whether we ride on somebody else, whether we have sharing agreements, whether we have, multiple ways of encashing that content is absolutely key for any content producer. And content is the largest possible definition. Anybody who creates content today is looking at what's the best possible avenue this content can give me return on income and can engage the audience. It's not the number of audiences which is important, it's about engagement which is important. Can I keep getting them back every day? So
Okay.
I go back to the consumer first and platform second.
Okay, Salil, I'm going to throw that to you because is there something faintly or vaguely or not that vaguely apocalyptic in that? Because yes, you can say that consumers' tastes are changing. They probably are, probably the tastes were already that. If you take that to the logical experience, the logical outcome of that is to say, let's only put out content that a large number of people will like, a large number of people will share, and which they will immediately engage with. Then the logic is don't talk about FDI or water policy or how do we do, what's happening out there. Find, I don't know, Disha Patani in the Maldives or something else and find those sort of videos and keep pushing those out. That's what will get shared on ShareChat. That's what people will watch. That's where the numbers and that's where the traffic are. So why do you have a giant newsroom there in Noida and hundreds of reporters around the country running around trying to do other stories? Because theoretically, it's those clippings that you could put out and that will probably get more engagement.
So Vikram, after Salil comes back, I want to come back on that question itself. So,
sure. No, I'm going to throw this to all of you. I'm just asking you because is that the apocalyptic scenario that we're looking at? Salil. You're on mute, Salil.
Yeah, so I'm just trying, this is the new normal nowadays. You're on mute. I'm sure you've heard it so many times. It's this environment. I'll tell you what, I heard Sandeep talk about how he believes, and that I think it's his personal belief. I don't agree with quite a lot of that. More from a perspective, because as publishers, what happens is, it's like you're comparing apples and oranges. It's chalk and cheese. It's not the same. When you look at, say, okay, how many publishers are there on the app 200 app downloads? It's different businesses. It's like the business that we are in, we are clearly leaders in that. We believe that businesses have to be done in a structure where there is monetizability. There are multiple approaches there. So he said about some people looking at investments and lots of money going down. You mentioned about that cycle, people spending tons and tons of money on downloads. And I think we all know that when you buy downloads, 98% of those get deleted within the first 7 days of getting a download, which is not an organic, download. So it's just that what are the models that you're looking at? We are from a news genre. We know our business very well. what is important to us as India today is trust. I mean, when you say you put up whoever, I mean, you mentioned some of the actresses, fine. I mean, that gives you some part of your page views. If you're running for page views, you'll do that, right? If you're looking at serious content, then there are sites which offer serious content. And it's like you segment your users, you segment the universe, and then you say, these are the people I want to target. And look at monetization opportunities. Ajit just mentioned something about, making segments and looking at what it is. And then there are various monetizable routes under which one can monetize. And I think India Today Group has been able to do it in a very healthy manner. And we believe that the huge number of reporters or editors or the people within this organization are all geared and streamlined to deliver that trust factor, build on it, and make sure you're able to monetize. I know Sandeep is smiling now. It is again, how many people do I need to make it sustainable? How many people do I need to be making sure that this sustainability is retained? And at the same time, am I scalable within the audience that I'm looking at? I can talk on multiple brands and then say they may be leaders in their territory, but where are they in the world? Where does it come in the world? Now, it can't be a comparison with, say, Nirma here and then tomorrow another brand saying globally this is the largest one. And again, the economy is on all. My previous experience, and I was talking before we started, when we were at backstage kind, I very clearly said, I worked in organizations where I've had a view of global scale in terms of pricing. So you can't compare $1 to a rupee today at least. Maybe tomorrow. And I am of a positive bent. I always look positive. I assume tomorrow there may be an opportunity where I'll have the same spending power, I'll have a better GDP, and I will have consumers who are willing to pay. I would target those users from my business perspective.
Okay, Ajit, Sandeep, I'm going to get you. Ajit wanted to quickly respond also to what I said and what Salil said. Then I'm going to come to you, Sandeep.
Yeah, I think I actually wanted to mention 2 points to what you mentioned and what Salil touched upon. See, look at it this way. Now, like you said, there is a certain serious content being made, and there is plethora of content a publisher makes and makes it available in a particular format, right? Now counter that with today's youth, on a press of a button, can get global content on their mobile. Now, there is a difference, right? So to me, I'm not saying good or bad. The fact is the world has evolved today to a stage where it is not about one vertical content or one person's content, right? One publisher or one content. Things are available on the press of a button or a click or a swipe. Global content, not just India content or a vertical content or a publisher content, right? So to me, that is a big difference today. Think on your fingertips. You almost feel that you're always in control of what is coming to you, right? You just keep swiping or changing and stuff like that. So that's one big thing. Second is this whole, I didn't touch upon it earlier, this whole game of AI, which is the personalization. Now, if aggregators and if publishers or if platforms can create intelligent ecosystems where things which are coming to you are different from things which are coming to me in the same platform. Now, the reason why algorithm-based platforms flourished, like TikTok flourished in the last 5 years compared to 15 years of Facebook, is single biggest reason is when you open that app, you feel it's for me. When I open the app, it almost throws up content. So it's not about popular content or non-popular content. It's about every content, but what is it for you? What is in your interest?
Okay, well, I know there's about to be an ideological argument between Sandeep and Salil, and I'm going to turn to that, but I have a slight ideological argument also with part of what you were saying, Ajit. The algorithmic, the ability to leave something to algorithms. I mean, to be honest, when I set up Heritage, one of the first things we did is we built a beautiful algorithm which would show people exactly what they wanted to watch. But there's a danger with that in certain areas, especially if it comes to news. If I go on showing you news that you would like to watch, and if everyone does that, within 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, we'll have the most ill-informed population. Maybe we're already there. You'll have people who are only listening to a certain ideological echo chamber, and you're not getting a broad-based sense of what's happening in the world around. I'm talking about news specifically, right? Other content could be very different. But in the news in particular, and Salil will probably bear me out on that, you need to know 25, 30 pieces of the news, some of which you may have shown that, yes, I want to watch this or I would like to watch this. Some things you should know because you should know this if you want to be really informed. So frankly, and I'm just saying this from a past experience, we had to build an algorithm and we had to break it literally. We had to break a beautiful algorithm to make it something less effective because we thought people should be informed. Yeah, you were saying something and then I'll throw it to Sandeep. Yeah.
So our experience in the language space is slightly different because what is coming out there is plethora of multiple contents, not just popular content. So anyway, I'll leave it to Sandeep to respond first, and then we'll
Again, I just want to add one thing. Vikram, when you're saying, Sandeep, one moment I'll take on what he's talking about algorithms there, and this is where I'm saying what we've noticed when it is when there is machine learning and artificial intelligence being brought in. I think there is, and if I can use the word, the tadka of discoverability. So technically, what happens is when you're watching more of the same, it's like, if I go to a page which is, generated for me as a home page for me, it's like my personalized page, whether it is explicit or implicit. What an algorithm would do, an ideal algorithm would do is also bring in some factors of discoverability, bring in new elements and different perspectives. And trust me, when I look at them, I see that coming in. So, but what is done is, it's also said, I believe what I've written is the best. But the true test is, are people also really consuming and using it and reading it and engaging and interacting with it?
Okay. Sandeep, over to you.
So, I think the problem with India today, India is that, not India today, is that when an American athlete wins, they say America, they are rich country. When a Jamaican athlete wins, they say Jamaica, let's find a reason for that. They are black people. When a Somalian athlete wins, they say, oh, yaar, ye kya ho gaya? What to do now? So this is the problem. We start taking this chalk and cheese example when we are losing. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I think about project positivity and credibility. I think exclusive pictures of Ram Mandir construction site 2-3 days back on a certain network, which you guys all know, is bringing me positivity and serious news. So I would not get into that. I think that is the kind of achievement in terms of trust and seriousness that you get your camera in on some construction site, and then you say, hey, look, and this is bringing in positivity, and this is quote unquote what Salil is referring to as serious news and trust and all those things. Now, the next thing is that I'm not talking about app downloads. I'm talking about unique users coming every month. And app downloads, 98% people are not dropping off. I think Ajit can corroborate that data. If 98 people were dropping off, Ajit would not get 90 million users every month, and a very, very large number of DAU users are coming. And youth is liking short video, there is no doubt. And at some level, investors are not that stupid that they are funding some of these channels. India, Vikram, the problem is India is quantity over quality. India doesn't want quality. I think we've got to agree to that. This is what they want. And in terms of AI algorithms,
that's a strong statement to make, that India wants and India will always want quality over quantity. I mean, that's still to be proven, that particular thing.
That is completely proven. I can prove it. I have written so many AI algorithms on my own. You get on any of these apps. On these youth apps, you get one young girl dancing. Okay, right on top, if you are hiding your IP. Okay. And when Ajit says Indian youth has access to global content, I don't think they're reading any global content. I think they're consuming content in Marathi itself, where they come from. That is the number, and that's a huge skew. Okay. And if you get some of these apps, I'll not name them, you get these aunties in blouses and cleavage and all in a very heavy manner. I mean, you go to YouTube, okay, in an incognito window, you'll see what India is seeing. In terms of quality versus quantity, India is absolutely quantity. India doesn't want quality. I take editorial examples where editorial examples have succeeded in US. Okay, there's a publication which got recently launched called Axios, AXIOS. Super publication, amazing work. You know, the way they write articles, they've changed the format. And, you know, in India, would a quid get an interview with Mr. Modi? Never. Never. You know, with any publications at .com, but Donald Trump gave an interview to Axios.com. And 3 days back, Axios.com got an interview of Imran Khan in Pakistan.
Yeah, saw that. Yeah.
You know, so, you know, this is called quality. And, you know, this kind of thing will never work in India. India is not a quality country in any stretch of things. I mean, this is...
I have to get other people's reactions on that. It's a rather strong statement to make. I mean, it's a possibly a correct statement to make. I'm not saying it's, but I'm saying it's a strong statement. Ajit, India is not a place which will appreciate quality, so stick to quantity. Don't worry about quality.
Whether it's any discussion, whether it's, I mean, we can always have 1 or 2 exceptions of, you know, examples to use and say we can generalize. But I always believe whether it's content, whether it is the trust factor or the kind of things that we consume, there is always cohorts, right? It's the top 15 million of India or 75 million of India has a different taste. They're willing to pay the price for quality. Otherwise, iPhone popularity or even 250 Maybachs wouldn't have got sold last 3 months, right? But there is a large segment of what Sandeep is talking about, and therefore we generalize that to the entire population, which is around maybe the 200 to 500 million middle class, and then the last 600 million odd, villages and the lower strata. So there are different cohorts. Now, whether we divide it in 3 cohorts, whether we divide it into 5 or 8 cohorts, different people have. But yes, if I were to make one statement and say, how can I generalize for all of India? None of the trends that we have seen, we can generalize for India. Now,
if we generalize the trend by law of averages, you know, you will quote that on average user spends an hour on share chat. As a user and consumer, you yourself would not be doing it.
Yeah,
see, the problem with the, our new short video platforms are, 7 of them opened up just because TikTok shut down. They didn't have this innovation earlier. So, by law of averages, majority of Indian consumption is in that strata. I can prove that number with Comscore.
Yeah, fine, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But Salil, let me turn to you now. Having said that, we are a country of 1.3 billion people, right? So let's take Sandeep's statement for face value. That right? Look, this is what most people want. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but it's saying that let's assume that's what most people want. 90% of people want quantity over quality. They will want slightly sleazy, whatever it is, sleazy content. I think he put it as the blouses and petticoats sort of a viewing. So, okay, maybe that's the case. But potentially, is there a case to be said that in a country like India, even if just 10% or 7% of people want serious quality, that's still 100 million people. 100 million people is a very large number. And potentially, if you can monetize that and you can make money from that, then you say, okay, I'm not in the numbers game. I'm targeting that lot.
Okay, I think completely. I mean, I completely disagree with that statement of saying that India is not a quality conscious. It's just quality to each strata is very different. What somebody may consume or say is this is good quality, the other guy may say this is rubbish. It again depends on what you're looking at, and it's like generalizing the 130 crore population and saying, okay, everybody is looking at, there is no quality requirement there. Completely. There's no logic I can give on that response. But the only thing I can turn around and say is your target audience and what you're producing is what you're looking at and seeing whether that consumption is happening. And as far as businesses are concerned, if your business is legit and you're getting the right amount of ROI on your investments, then you're doing fine. And you're focusing on, again, like I said, what is quality? Again, it is very different to each one. So I really can't say. Yes, in terms of users, what is the number of users and what a potential number of users in English? For example, let's take English as a startup. There'll be a particular number. You're not going to get growth beyond that. That's your country size, right? Globally, when people look now, this is what he was saying. Globally, when people look, I'm surprised, when say on YouTube, I hear that Aaj Tak is the single largest most subscribed brand on the platform. Now, is that number? Yes, it is. It's 47 million subscribers subscribing for one brand on one platform. Now, that could be, we can turn around and say, okay, now, is that quality? According to me, it's a platform. There is some people who are viewing it. And again, there'll be stratas within that. How many consume, how many? Then we'll come back to the cohorts that Ajit mentioned. How many come every day? How many do binge watching? How many come for whatever? Now that 47 million is not consuming that. I'm assuming there's no petticoat there. It's actual content.
Okay, I'm gonna hang on. I have 10 minutes to go, so I'm just gonna try and get in the dreaded M word, right? Salil, I don't know if you recall, I think the first time you and I ever sat down and discussed the future of the world, I think it was something like 16 years ago when you and I met and we were saying, the internet is going to change the world. Yes, it happened. All content is going to change and start moving to the internet and to digital. I'm remembering that first conversation. I'm sure you remember it too. That happened.
Yes.
The third discussion that we had over that cup of coffee was that yes, money will also at the right time come to the internet and to internet publication. Now that is where I'm not that sure 15 years later or 16 years later it's happened. And paradoxically, the sheer surge in traffic, the more numbers you have, the more people who are watching these videos, it almost means that now if you're talking less than 5 million, what's the point of that? Now, getting 5 million on user-generated content is not that challenging. Getting 500,000 or getting 100,000 or getting even 50,000 views on serious content can be a challenge, which means you're now struggling to monetize. So the surge in traffic, paradoxically, could be making it more difficult to monetize. What do you say?
Yeah. Okay. Let me. So I'll answer this question in two parts, or I'll try and address this in two parts. Every platform or every vertical has its pluses and minuses. For example, on the digital side of the world, what we realize is if you get a sudden spike or surge, monetizability and yields will fall. It's a known phenomena, at least for our country, because where you have a supply demand excess. So obviously what happens is this will fall, but your monetization continues to happen as this number keeps growing. So for example, my average base could have been X 6 years back. Today that average base from 6x, it's grown by 4x. So my average base has become something and therefore my monetizability is improved. That's one factor. The other factors that you spoke of, we believe again, and again, like I said, the way I look at monetization is, it's first you're looking at your content piece. Based on that content, you get another C, which is 3 C's of what I'm talking about. You get your community. And once you have your community, then you're looking at cash. Cash will follow. Now, the point is, given the Indian environment, given the Indian circumstances, what is the average yield in the country versus other countries? Yes, our averages are very low. They remain low. But then, I remember also selling at 600 rupees CPM. Normal news inventory at 600 rupees CPM. And it's dropped over the years because, again, consumption is there, growth has happened. But look at the top line I was doing those 5 years back and the top line you're doing today.
But if your rates are going from 600, so if your rates are going from 600 to, I don't know, 60 or 30 or whatever they are, because you are trying to compete with mass user-generated content, then you have a problem because even if your traffic has gone up 20 times, you're making the same amount of money.
No, you're not making the same amount of money. This is one format of advertising where we've seen a drop. But then there are 4 other opportunities of monetization of the same content that never existed then.
Okay.
So what happens is...
Let me get Sandeep and Ajit. Let me get Sandeep and Ajit before we run out of time. Sandeep.
So, Vikram, the question is whether the ad dollars have increased. Ad dollars have definitely increased. Now, we are in the range of 18,000 crores of advertising coming on digital. Okay. The problem is that 85 cents out of a dollar are going to Facebook and Google, the duopoly. Okay. And a lot of the money is then goes into all the other riffraff which is left. And, the publishers have not been able to make an impact there. and they will not be able to make an impact in the future. The future of publishing as per the international standards is either you pay like New York Times or you get into a grant model like the Guardian. So, the key problem is that the problem is not the advertising. So 20,000 crores is serious money, huh? And the advertising dollars on digital will cross the television advertising dollars very soon, in 2-3 years. And that is what all the head of marketing tell me. Okay, so it's not that it's not happening, but it's not coming to publishers. And I have my serious doubts that it will go to aggregators also.
All right, Ajit, monetization.
I just want to interject. One thing is that I hear Sandeep saying it will not come. I am saying it is going to come. You have to be innovative. You have to look at opportunities, and trust me, maybe 3 years, 5 years from now, we will have this conversation again with Sandeep, where I will show that the money which is due to the publisher is coming. It's just that somebody who's there is looking at innovative.
20,000 crores, not small amounts of money. Industry is 70,000 crores. You made a point.
Sandeep, I'm not again. No, Sandeep is not trying to make a point against you. All I'm trying to say here is...
See, I have nothing to do with this. Consider, I'm not even there. So, Times does a 400 million user a month. India Today does a 130 million user a month. Okay. And
sir, again, you're going on 100, 400. I am saying, trust me, if you are innovative, you will make more money than anyone else can out of a normal banner sale.
You're like the new sports minister who's just joined and say, we'll get 10 golds in Olympics next, you see.
Trust me.
There's a difference between that guy.
There is a difference between him and me to the extent that I
65 years old. अभी 100 साल जब रहेंगे ना तभी पक्का 10 गोल्ड लाएंगे.
Okay, this is reminding me.
Sir, मैंने 100 साल नहीं. I did not say. Wait, Vikram. I did not say 100 years. I said 3 to 5 years. Trust me, 3 to 5. And there also I'm saying, अरे बाबा आप भी होगे, मैं भी होगा. We will see at that time. 3 to 5 years. It is only a question of how a publisher can be innovative and look at alternate business models that can deliver higher revenues. And trust me, the revenue models
are going to convince us. Basically, हम आपके stakeholder थोड़े ना जो आप ये बता रहे हैं.
I thought I had stopped. I thought when I quit television news, I had stopped anchoring the big fight, but I see that I'm back to it. So let me step in on that particular note. Okay, here's the thing. 25th of June, 2024. I'm putting it right now, IAMAI, mark the date, 25th of June, 2024. Let's come back and let's see whether Salil was right or Sandeep was right and where the money is coming. And this obviously all of us have a vested interest, so we all hope that Salil is right on this. But, I think Sandeep's warnings are very well taken. Ajit, we have 2 minutes to go, so I'm going to give you the last word on this.
I think
if you don't have much to say, I'll get back to the fight between Salil and Sandeep.
Yeah, I think enough has been said.
I've been missing television, so here we are back again.
No, I think your reputation precedes you, right? So obviously there had to be a contest going. But anyway, I said that have been
actually in the last 10 years when I was trying, it was probably the most peaceful show on television, but that was still anyway. Yeah.
I think enough. I think a lot have been said on this and the monetization bit. I just feel that it's always the equation plays of demand and supply. I also feel that that there is always a rule of 3. Now look at the successful models like a Facebook or Google. We always envy that they have captured the market. 60% of the money goes there, but when they moved, they were the first. And they got a window of 5 to 7 years or 8 years as a free play there, right? So therefore, even in India, when their ARPU is close to $5 pay, whereas a lot of others are struggling even to get $1 or half a cent per user, obviously the distance is so large. Now, TikTok model came and questioned that and soon got into at least globally they are successful in China and US. India, they were still not as successful because India is a slow pick market. But in terms of, so to me, the fact is that when we have a popular business or a vertical, and then there are 100 players following the same vertical, obviously that, you mentioned about low CPMs and, the yield and that will keep going. Everybody is looking for that. What is the difference you're bringing on the table? And for example, I can talk about myself is, when I looked at ShareChat, what is the moat? We said we are looking at our language user as the first. Now, today in India, that seems to be the mode. Maybe 5 years later, in that video space, 2 years later, it may not be the only mode. And that's when what Salil said, we are looking at therefore creating that 2-3 year window. If we have a half a billion number, then it's not only about advertising. What is the other kinds of revenue? Live streaming, video commerce, marketplaces. There are enough examples globally, payment gateways, utility stuff. So there are enough examples globally that has been done by existing great players, which if we slowly replicate in India, we have to look at other sources of income. We cannot just say, per user on advertising is only this much, because we have got an ecosystem, we have got a user in our hand. Now, that user is constantly evolving. We already have an advertising business of $3 billion, like you said, Sandeep, is $3 billion, which is growing at almost 20-25% even today. So it will go to 4 billion, it will go to 5 billion in a shorter span because of whatever has happened in the whole world in the past 1-2 years. It will probably be fast tracking that, right? But eventually, my feeling is, if you can talk in the consumer, not just because they're coming for only content, if you're looking at fulfilling other desires of consumers, whether it's in the utility space, whether it's in the health space, whether it is in the, we have plethora of signals that the consumer is telling us, and unless we innovate there, I think we'll fall in the same trap.
So, very quickly, you say every user has a monetization. And since you're the chief commercial officer, if I got that right, I would suggest you to try out this company called Cheetah Mobile. They've got significant amount of users, 400 million users coming from China. And even in India, they've got a huge user base because they've got that virus cleaner app. Okay. And you see how it's trading. And I'm invested in it, therefore I keep reading their annual reports. Every user can be monetized. Even if you have 100 million users.
Yeah.
All right. Every user can be monetized. Let's hope quality content can also be monetized. And let's mark our calendar. 3 years from now, we are going to have another big fight between Sandeep and Salil to see which of them is actually going to win on the monetization front. That's it for now. We are over time, so I'm going to hand it back to you.
Thank you, dear panelists, for joining us today and sharing some key insights with us. This definitely was an interesting discussion. I would like to thank Kantar, our knowledge partner. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with our next session in 10 minutes. Please stay with us.
Thank you.